Welcome back to Anfield Vibes, your trusted home for all the very latest Liverpool transfer news and in-depth analysis. And today we have a story that has the potential to shake the Premier League to its very core. Liverpool's $110 million move for Alexander Isak has already been rejected, but the striker has now broken his silence, firing shots at Newcastle United, accusing them of broken promises, and leaving the entire football world asking one big question. Will Liverpool go back in with an even bigger offer before the window slams shut? But that's not all. We also have updates on Marc Guehi, Nicolas Jackson, Harvey Elliott, Kostas Tsimikas, Ibrahima Konaté, and much more. And of course, we'll be building up to Monday night's blockbuster clash against Newcastle. A game that could define not just this transfer window, but also the direction of both clubs for the rest of the season. So grab a seat, hit that like button if you love Liverpool content, and make sure you subscribe to Anfield Vibes, because you do not want to miss a second of this transfer drama. Let's begin with the headline story. Alexander Isak, the Swedish international, Newcastle's most prized asset, and right now, arguably, Liverpool's top transfer target. Earlier this month, Liverpool stunned the football world by launching a sensational $110 million bid for Isak. It was bold, it was ambitious, and it was a statement of intent. Newcastle rejected it almost instantly. On the surface, that might look like the end of the story, but as we now know, it was only the beginning. On Tuesday night, Isak broke his silence on social media with a message that sent shockwaves through Tyneside. He accused Newcastle of breaking promises made to him when he signed. He spoke of a loss of trust. And most importantly, he made it clear that he no longer sees his future at St. James's Park. Let's just pause on that for a moment. This isn't just any player expressing frustration. This is Newcastle's main striker, their $63 million record signing, the man who scored 25 goals last season across all competitions, publicly questioning his club's integrity. Now, Newcastle have responded. Late Tuesday night, they issued a statement saying they were disappointed with Isak's words, but also stressed that the door remains open for reconciliation. That, in itself, is fascinating. They didn't slam the door shut. They didn't insist he's staying at all costs. Instead, they've left room for interpretation, and here's where Liverpool come in. Sources close to Anfield suggest that Jurgen Klopp, or now Arne Slot and the recruitment team, see Isak as the ideal forward to lead Liverpool into a new era. Young, proven in the Premier League, versatile, and with Champions League pedigree. He ticks every single box. But will Liverpool go higher than $110 million? That is the golden question. If they do, they could test Newcastle's financial resolve, particularly with FFP pressures mounting on the Magpies. If they don't, they risk missing out on one of Europe's elite strikers. Engagement prompt. But what do you think, Reds? Should Liverpool push again for Isak, even if it means going above $120 million? Or is that simply too much for one player? Let me know your thoughts in the comments right now. Now, let's move on to the defense. And Crystal Palace, star Marc Guehi. Liverpool have been monitoring Guehi for months. At 24 years old, he's established himself as one of the Premier League's most reliable centre-backs. And of course, he was part of England's Euro 2024 squad. His composure on the ball, his reading of the game, and his leadership qualities make him a very attractive option. Palace are reluctant to sell. They see Guehi as the cornerstone of their project under Oliver Glasner. But the player himself is understood to be open to a move if the right club comes calling. Liverpool ticks that box. Now here's the interesting part. With Ibrahima Konaté's contract entering its final year, and no renewal in sight yet, Liverpool may need to act quickly. Guehi could be the long-term replacement, or even a partner depending on how negotiations go. And remember, Liverpool love to move quietly. We saw it with Diogo Jota. We saw it with Cody Gakpo. Don't be surprised if we wake up one morning and Guehi is holding a Liverpool shirt at Anfield. Next, Nicolas Jackson. The Chelsea striker has been loosely linked with Liverpool in recent days, and it's sparked quite a debate. Let's be honest here, Hor. Is this genuine interest, or is it agent-driven talk designed to put pressure on Chelsea? Reports suggest that Liverpool admire his athleticism and versatility, but as of now, there's no firm bid. That said, Jackson's situation at Chelsea is worth watching. If Mauricio Pochettino decides he isn't first choice, Liverpool could see an opportunity. But compared to Isak, Jackson feels like a backup option rather than the main target. Still, in the unpredictable world of transfer windows, never say never. Let's talk about Liverpool's current squad because there are big question marks hanging over several players. Harvey Elliott, once tipped as the future of Liverpool's midfield, Elliott now faces an uncertain role. He's loved by the fans. He's hardworking, but he hasn't cemented a guaranteed starting spot. There's talk of a potential loan or even interest from other Premier League clubs. The big question, does Arne Slot see him as a long-term starter, or more of a squad player? Kostas Tsimikas. The Greek international has been a loyal deputy to Andy Robertson, but his minutes have been limited. There are whispers of potential suitors in Serie A. If he leaves, Liverpool would need to address the left-back depth immediately. Ibrahima Konaté. Perhaps the biggest concern of all. Konaté is entering the final year of his contract. Talks have not advanced. If Liverpool cannot secure his future, they may be forced to consider selling rather than risk losing him for free. That's why Marc Guehi's name keeps coming up. What we're seeing here, Reds, is a very deliberate Liverpool strategy. This isn't about panic buying. This is about reshaping the squad for the next 5 years. Isak represents the marquee signing. Guehi represents the long-term defensive stability. Jackson, perhaps, is a wild card option. But equally, Liverpool are not afraid to make tough decisions. If Elliott, Tsimikas, or even Konaté need to be moved on, they will do it. That's the ruthlessness required at the very top of the game. And then we have the small matter of Monday night's game at Anfield against Newcastle United. And what a backdrop this is. If Isak plays, it will be fascinating to see how he responds after his public statement. Will he give everything for Newcastle, or will his head be elsewhere? For Liverpool, this is more than just 3 points. This is about sending a message to the rest of the Premier League, a message to potential signings, and a message to the fans that the new era under Arne Slot is ready to begin. Keep an eye on Mohamed Salah, who looked sharp in training.